It all started with the awakening of a repentant, guilt-ridden scientist community after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
The atomic bomb became the primary focus for the science side, and I think for the religion side, the Holocaust and other terrible things that happened under religious leadership. And so you got a combination of failure of religion and failure of science.
And they were afraid that science was being viewed as the enemy of religion and the enemy of morality.
And one of its significant roots of IRAS is a Committee on Science and Human Values. At that time, trying to bring values into the scientific picture in order to guide human behavior.
Now, the scientists were top echelon scientists because they were leaders in the Academy of Arts and Sciences.
And they had the first conference here, after which it was decided that one conference wasn't enough. And so the Institute on Religion in an Age of Science was formed. We tend to see science and religious thought and practice as a team. The word zygon itself means to yoke together. It's from the word zygote.
The age of science needs these institutions to help translate the human dimensions of our science.
The scientists in IRAS may not believe themselves in religion, but they respect religion. That's number one. Number two, the theologians or the religious scholars or the philosophers in IRAS respect science as well. So there's this opportunity for exchange, and the purpose of that exchange is to make for a better world, a more peaceful world. That's been the traditional structure, the purpose of IRAS.
Certainly, IRAS membership draws people from many different religious traditions, so it conveys a sense of inclusiveness.
IRAS was not just concerned about, you might say, effective preaching. They were concerned with the thoughts.
The Western culture, since the 17th century, has been limping along because science and religion essentially split. Science went on without too much conscience, and religion became more and more introspective and really silly when it cut itself off from the cosmos and from nature.
As far as the religion goes, Institute on Religion in an Age of Science as having at least two prongs. One is the traditional, and people who want to hold on to the traditional symbols and rituals, and also those who want to, in a sense, fashion a new religious outlook.
The rise of science, we really, in a sense, independent of culture, have discovered things about reality and about the universe, which are remarkable. But there are major issues as well. One is unequal opportunity. The other is what is happening to the planet, to environmental issues.
Now, all of these cannot be solved by business as usual. And this is where reportedly Einstein saying, science without religion is lame and religion without science is blind, makes sense.
There's always been an urge in IRAS, okay, we have all this knowledge. What do we do with it now? How do we take it out into the world for social causes, to have science more widely understood, and to help people learn that there is not an inherent conflict between religion and science.
We have the power to give it some direction, not through ego, but feeling that we have the responsibility and the power to change it.
IRAS is exactly this kind of multidisciplinary, multi-faith community.
Sooner we expose the fact that religion and science are not antithetical, and that there are many different ways of understanding this complex relationship, the sooner we expose that type of thinking to young people, the better off we will be as a species.
Colleagues of mine call persons of tomorrow. And that is the deepest promise of any spiritual or psychological tradition worth its salt. That they help us grow into the work not only of today, but the work that prepares us to help co-create tomorrow.